A couple of teenagers go for a ride in the middle of the night and it leads to tragedy.
Estill County leaders have an urgent message for people living there. Conserve water. How the weather has caused some major problems.
What one Central Kentucky hospital is now doing to help babies born addicted to drugs.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. Tonight we are learning more about the investigation into a crash that killed a 13-year-old boy. Police say he was driving a car that flipped off a road in Knox County.
The funeral home handling arrangements identified that boy as Jathan Patterson of Barberville. Police say a 14-year-old girl also in the car survived. Phil Pendleton talked to investigators. It's our top story at 6.
It's the kind of story that begs the question why.
Terrible. It makes me sick.
Police say the 13-year-old boy managed to take his mother's 2008 Nissan Altima, and then along with a 14-year-old, the two headed out Kentucky 3439. A Barberville officer noticed the car without headlights on about 2:30 Monday morning.
Before the officer could catch back up to that vehicle, the vehicle had left the roadway, struck an embankment, and overturned.
Both the boy and girl were thrown from the car. Jathan died at the scene. The 14-year-old was taken to a local hospital. Well, as you can see, there's still a lot of snow on the ground. It was very cold early this morning. Whether slick road conditions played a role, police say they really don't know, but they do tell me that speed was likely a factor. People who live in the area say that wrecks are common along the narrow rural roadway.
We've had cars go in the ditches over here all the time. Last summer, within 3 days, there were 5 accidents.
Why the boy took his mother's car remains under investigation.
We do know that the vehicle was taken without the mother knowing it.
But in this close-knit area, it didn't take long for word to spread of the tragedy.
Barberville is a small town. You know, everyone knows each other, and it's hard enough as a police officer to work a fatality.
Hopper Funeral Home in Barberville is handling the family's arrangements. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police tell us the 14-year-old girl who was injured in that crash is expected to recover.
We are getting a break from the snow and ice, but not the cold. Temperatures could dip to near record lows tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early check now of a very cold forecast. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. All about the clouds versus clear as we go into the overnight. Moral of the story, if you have clear skies tonight, your temperatures will head towards 0 or below. If you keep a little cloud cover, you're going to hang into the single digits. Not that that's a big-time bargain, but you get the idea of it. Lexington's record low, by the way, tomorrow morning is 1 below 0 from back in 1967. Right now, we're forecasting that to be right around 2 below tomorrow morning. But again, any overcast would keep that on the positive side of things tomorrow morning. Other than that, can't find a whole lot of positives in the forecast to really talk about. Feels like it's down into the single digits. Actual thermometers, 16 degrees Lexington and Moorhead, with most areas seeing those wind chills flirting with 0. 3 degrees right now in Lexington, Covington checking in at 6 degrees, along with Moorhead and Mount Sterling. Nothing on Live First Alert Defender, though a little batch of some light snow coming out of the Ozarks now. It's snowing all the way into the heart of Dixie with this second system. That may skirt far southeastern Kentucky late tonight. For the rest of the area, with clear skies and a snowpack in place, we'll see single digits already showing up by late this evening. Weather headlines, record cold again, possible tonight. We'll track the increasing snow chances and another blast of bitter that returns by the end of the week. And guys, we'll show you how we are chasing history for the month of February for both snow and cold in about 10 minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. They call it a critical water shortage. So tonight, Estill County emergency managers are asking people in the county to conserve water.
As our Jordan Valines tells us, Estill County leaders say a series of problems related to the snow and ice led to the shortage.
4 separate water issues all occurring at once in Estill County.
It has put us in a critical situation.
Has left 1,500 residents temporarily without any water.
Well, this is our first time we've ever had to conserve water as far as I can remember.
Including Brenda Newkirk.
Our water pressure is just like just a little trickle. We have no water at all. And so we've had to go out and buy water.
She's one of the many customers who got a call from emergency services this morning.
They tell us not to wash clothes or to take baths or anything right now. It's kind of bad.
Utility workers say some of the reasons for the widespread water shortage include a power outage at the water plant, lines that have burst, drains stopped up by debris, and also that people have been using too much water to prevent their pipes from freezing.
I'd like for people just to let that water run just at a pencil lead, not a size of a pencil, not a first grader pencil, just the size of a pencil lead. Probably one faucet or one that's on the outside wall that could freeze up.
So if you're in the Estill Water District,
If they can conserve any way would be great.
conserve all you can so you don't contribute to the strain on the system. In Estill County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
The Estill County Water District is asking people to only use water for necessities and be sure to boil water for at least 3 minutes before drinking it or cooking with it. Hundreds of people in Knox County are also dealing with a water shortage tonight. County leaders say a combination of flooding and water line breaks around the DeWitt community has affected more than 700 people. They say they can't fix a main transmission line right now because of flooding in the area. So they'll keep handing out bottled water to customers at least through tomorrow.
With a break in the snow and ice, Lexington streets and roads workers are putting more focus on the city's side streets. Some of those neighborhood streets still have snow on them. Today, road crews also helped out Lexington's waste management workers by making sure they had clear routes to pick up trash. Waste collection resumed in Lexington today for the first time since last Monday's snowstorm.
We started yesterday cleaning for Monday's collection areas. The men and women of our Division of Water Quality are working on Tuesday collection areas today.
Streets and roads workers also plan to begin patching up all those potholes that have appeared on Lexington roads over the last week.
Fayette County students finally went back to school today after missing all of last week. Fayette County school leaders say 5 buses out of 220 became stuck in snow this morning, so they called streets and roads workers to help get the buses moving again. To make up some snow days, Fayette County students will now have school on March 20th and April 10th, 2 days they originally scheduled to have off. For many school districts, neighborhood streets and rural roads are still too bad to open schools. Lincoln County is among them. School leaders say that some of their bus drivers can't even leave home because of snow-covered roads.
Those that leave their buses at their homes to ease the fuel expense of driving back and forth now have their buses plowed in, and they don't have a crew that'll come out and dig them out.
Lincoln County schools are closed again tomorrow. Check the bottom of your screen for updated closings and delays.
It is a big loss for a small central Kentucky city. Over the weekend, a fire ripped through Lawrenceburg's maintenance garage, destroying most of the city's snow removal equipment. It is bad timing with winter not yet over. As Sean Moody tells us, city leaders are now trying to salvage what they can from the garage.
It didn't take long for a demolition crew to get to work, finishing what that fire started.
Yeah, this is where I've been for 25 years here. Kind of a devastating loss to us, you know.
Maintenance supervisor Noel Cotton said this was tough to watch.
This was actually my office here where we're standing now. Just kind of hard to swallow, you know.
The workers were treating this kind of like an archaeological dig as that excavator cleared out the big pieces. Workers went in and looked for the smaller pieces, cataloging them as they went.
That's a compressor tool for a hose.
Now, investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what started the fire. The fire chief told me that with so many vehicles and electrical equipment inside, it really could have been anything.
Lawrenceburg Mayor Sandy Goodlett said they were trying to plan ahead when they put all the trucks in that garage to keep them warm in case they needed to use them again soon.
You put everything in one basket and the basket burns.
He says they were insured and they'll get replacements, but it could be a while.
You know, if it takes a month, but a month from now, we ought to be out of snow. But come next year, we'll be ready.
In the meantime, he says they'll contract out for snow removal. And until Cotton gets new equipment, he's trying to look at the bright side.
You said you wanted some new equipment. I guess this was one way of getting it.
Hard way, isn't it?
In Lawrenceburg, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Well, the city does still have one pickup truck left with a scraper and a salt spreader. The mayor said that truck will likely put in a lot of work over the next few weeks. Remember, for updated closings, delays, and weather information, just go to our website, WKYT.com.
It's a pretty shocking number. Leaders at Ephraim McDowell Hospital in Danville tell us that 1 out of every 10 babies born there, that's 1 out of 10, are born addicted to drugs. So now that's led to some changes in the hospital's nursery. Investigative reporter Miranda Combs explains.
In a city of more than 16,000, there's a number that's growing. The number starts in here. It's a recovery room of sorts. The babies here are detoxing after being born addicted to drugs. In the past, babies diagnosed were immediately transported to the University of Kentucky for treatment to ease them off their mother's addiction.
We realized that we could possibly treat the babies that were coming here instead of transferring them up to UK.
They started with 1 addicted baby and quickly took on the growing need. 1 in 10 babies today born at Ephraim McDowell Hospital in Danville are born addicted to drugs. Signs like poor feeding, GI problems, high temperature, increased respiratory rates.
We wanted to keep them closer to home.
They set up a room next to the normal nursery called the Special Care Nursery. It's dark in there and quiet.
Like this little guy loved me rubbing the top of his head.
This baby is on oral morphine drops every 3 hours. That's the typical dose for a baby dealing with neonatal abstinence syndrome here. It is the only way to calm them and wean them from the drugs their mother was taking. The person holding him is a volunteer cuddler.
My role is just to love them now, to make life easier for them now.
And hold time while his mother is away. Nurses here say a big part of making life easier for the first few weeks of their lives is being near their mothers.
That's who they bonded with for 9 months, and that's who they need to stay with.
Moms were having to travel to Lexington to see their new babies. It was harder for them and in turn for the baby.
They come off the medicine that we give them for withdrawal quicker when mom's around more.
And since mom lives near the hospital is trying to accommodate the mothers and in turn accommodate the growing number of babies already dealt a difficult hand.
And Kilby did say it took time to get the balancing act right with the morphine treatments. She said the key is to keep the baby comfortable, but also they still have them acting like a normal newborn, like crying when they're hungry and they need to be changed.
It's a heartbreaking story
It
because they're
is.
so innocent. How much time do they take to wean the babies off the drugs?
She said typically it's 2 to 3 weeks, and it depends on every situation, but a lot of times it can be a lot longer than that. It just depends on how severe the withdrawal is. So
Thank goodness for those ladies like the cuddler that step in.
Absolutely, and they
play
said
a
there's
huge role.
plenty of them, but they could always use more, of course.
Thank you, Miranda.
After retiring from racing, some Central Kentucky thoroughbreds are now receiving a fresh start.
Today, the Retired Racehorse Project announced a new project called Thoroughbred Makeover. 300 recently retired racehorses will compete in 10 different equestrian disciplines the weekend before the Breeders' Cup.
It makes horse racing more interesting to watch, and people have this natural love for horses and animals, and seeing the way that they work with people is it's really exciting to watch.
The Thoroughbred Makeover competition will be October 23rd at the Kentucky Horse Park. The Breeders' Cup is October 30th and 31st at Keeneland.